All right, I'm pretty sure if you eat it right now, you're gonna get indigestion or, burn your face off. So we're gonna let this cool down a little bit. We're left with this, ash. We're gonna turn this into food. Fire destroys all the good stuff. Fats, proteins, carbs, all the stuff that we could eat. What's left over? Ash, inorganic matter, basically dirt, which I hope everybody knows we shouldn't be eating. Please don't be eating dirt. But then again, I'm probably not the best person to tell you what you should or should not eat, considering how many mold videos I've made. But what if you added water? It looks like a pH of like 12-ish. This liquid will burn you chemically. That's why we got our gloves on. But it actually gets us one step closer to becoming food. Through the 1700s and 1800s, there was a pandemic in Europe. People were getting delusions, developing scaly skin, open sores, and having relentless diarrhea. It was Pellagra. And yeah, I did learn this from a manga. But for you serious normies out there, here's a research article. Doctors were stumped. They didn't know what was going on until they finally realized it was from. But here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with the corn itself. Though this corn is a little less familiar than the sweet corn that we have, it was much starchier, less sweet, something called field corn. People were just eating it every day as their entire diet. And strangely, this only became a deadly problem in Europe. Meanwhile, in Mesoamerica, people were thriving off of corn. It was literally a foundation of entire civilizations. So how did the same ingredient that built cultures end up killing hundreds of thousands? It was missing a step, because Europe imported the crop, but they left behind the technique. Because who the f would eat ash, right? From the Aztec language, Nahuatl, nixtali means ashes, tamali means corn dough. So yeah, ash dough. Nixtamalization was the key to unlocking corn. This technique goes back thousands of years across Mesoamerica, used by the Maya, the Aztecs, and other indigenous communities. This process is still used today across Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, and many other cultures. They'd cook corn in an alkaline solution, made of things like seashells, slaked lime, and this stuff is basic, like pH 12 basic, enough to burn your skin. Chemically, at least. But that means it's enough to kill bacteria and mycotoxins. More importantly, this also unlocks nutrients in the corn. Vitamin B3 or niacin stays bound up in the corn if it's untreated. Without this process, your body can't absorb these vitamins, which is exactly what caused Pellagra in the first place. This process was passed down through generations, and I'm still getting to learn about it. Now I get to try to make one of my favorite foods from scratch. I'm starting with a 1-to-1 ratio of ash to corn by volume. And I'm using wood pellets that are 100% hardwood with no additives. So they say they're 100% natural, and I'm just gonna go with it. First, I'm sifting the ash through a fine mesh strainer to remove any large chunks. Then I'm gonna use 3 parts water to 1 part ash. I bring the water to a boil in a large pot, and I stir in the ash with a whisk to disperse it evenly. I'm gonna boil the ash for about 15 minutes and then just let it sit for 30 minutes to an hour. I'm also gonna check the pH of the water, and I'm aiming for anywhere above 11. It looks like a pH of like 12-ish. After that, I'm straining all of this ash water with a double-lined cheesecloth, and I'm leaving behind as much ash as I can. Afterwards, I'm adding the corn and boiling it for anywhere between 10 minutes to an hour, depending on how it feels. Okay, actually, I don't really know when this is supposed to be done. Well, let's just try it. It's supposed to taste like a roasted cashew. It's been tasting the same for quite a long time now, and I have no idea what's going on. A sign that the corn is starting to nixtamalize is that it's starting to turn yellow, but I'm still not sure if I'm cooking it enough. I'm just gonna leave this overnight now. During nixtamalization, the ash bath water breaks down the corn's outer membrane. Since corn doesn't have gluten like wheat, which is basically the thing that makes flour dough stick together and stretch and stuff like that, this breakdown exposes the sticky insides of the corn, allowing for the masa dough to stick together and form a cohesive dough later. All right, this is looking a little weird. It smells like masa, but it developed like this thick, pasty consistency, and it looks like it's really just, it's like corn and gravy. So I'm gonna have to rinse this off, and then we can grind it into masa. So I'm not really sure if this is gonna turn out well because there's supposed to be like the skin that comes off after like nixtamalization, and I can't see any of the skins that come off, and even if I scrape at it, it doesn't seem like it's coming out at all. So there's like 20 parts to this mill. This is very confusing. All right. This is weird. I guess this is right. Feel the plates move. I don't know what any of these parts do though. Oh, it's working. Oh, that does not look good. This does not look good. This just looks like a bunch of crumbled wet nuts. It's not a cohesive dough. It's not like coming together at all. I probably have to grind this a couple more times, but I don't know if this is gonna form into a dough. So I realized there's this little knob right here that makes the mealing a little bit more fine. Oh, I'm so tired. My biceps are so pumped. Okay. Holy crap, look at this. It clumped together. It worked. Ha ha ha, yes. Oh no. Okay. Look, it made it a ball. It's a ball. I'm gonna probably go one more time just to make it ultra fine. We're gonna make sure this shit works. A fine grind is important because you want the water to distribute properly in order to get to our next step. But first we gotta check if this is hydrated enough. So we're gonna do that by making a little ping pong ball, and then we're gonna squish it to see if there's any cracks. Ugh. Okay, see how there's cracks on the side? That means this is not hydrated enough, so I gotta add a little bit more water in here. Oh, I think I added too much water. I just need to work it a little bit. All right, time to press. That looks good, I think. This isn't even the hard part yet. Making the tortilla is the hard part. Tortilla puff is equivalent to getting like an open crumb for bread making. It's saying that you did everything right and this tortilla is gonna be fluffy and delicious. The puffiness shows that you have even moisture distribution throughout the tortilla, so it's nice and fluffy when you bite into it. I kind of suck at this. I haven't had a decent tortilla puff in my life, so it looks like I only have about 4 chances to get a decent tortilla. We need to get the tortilla evenly compressed throughout, so I'm going to press the tortilla in one way because this is kind of like a wedge, and I'm gonna flip it over the other side and press it again, so then it's even thickness all the way around. Because if you have one side that's too thick, it's gonna take longer on that one side, so the puffing would mess up or be more uneven. And at the end, I have a bowl with a towel in it, so then I can wrap the tortilla and keep it warm, and then it continues to steam and cook and soften. You need a pretty hot pan to get a good tortilla, like a 400 to 500 degree surface, so I'm using a cast iron. I think the idea is to sear each side of the tortilla for a short amount of time. When it starts cooking more, steam comes out, and that seared dry part kind of like captures that steam and puffs up. Come on, puff. All right, this almost puffed up. You can see a little bit puffiness right here and here. So close, so close. So it didn't puff up that much that first time. I'm gonna try spraying the backside with some water to see if that helps. Oh, this is vinegar. I think that's supposed to help hydrate the tortilla so then more steam is produced. Still not a good puff. If you're having trouble getting your tortilla to puff, here are some additional tips. So we're supposed to flip 3 times. You put it once, you sear. Oh, it's worse. It's way worse. You flip it the other time, you sear, and then you flip it back to get the puff. So I could press the corners to get the puff to go through the tortilla. All right, this one's not puffing at all. This one's even worse than the last one. All right, what else can we do? If you're searing each side for too long, you might be drying out the moisture. Okay, so I'll go even faster. I'll just 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 1000. Okay, that's too short. I needed to wait a little bit longer. Okay, that's garbage. I fucked that one up pretty hard. No, there's not even bubbles this time. Okay, well, last try. Watch for little holes in the tortilla. Damn it, I ripped some holes in it. That kind of puffed. I guess because I ripped this huge hole right here. That was sad, but there's one thing to show that there's a good tortilla, and that's called the crumple test. Apparently, if you crumple a tortilla, it's supposed to spring back and be very yummy. And a bad tortilla is when you crumple it and it just breaks apart. So, all right, that one's okay. It doesn't like, oh, okay, never mind. That got destroyed. All right, well, that's a bad tortilla, I guess. So this is a store-bought tortilla. Let's try one of my tortillas, I guess. I could keep crumpling it and it's good. Oh, that's a good tortilla. That's a good tortilla. Okay, they're not that bad. Even though I didn't get the puff, they're not horrible. You know, the filling I'm gonna make is probably not traditional, but I thought it'd be cool if I can go full circle. I used to come home and numb myself with whatever I could, just to fall asleep. Not because I was tired, but because I didn't want to be awake. Even anime, something I loved, became a background noise as I lay there staring at the ceiling, waiting for the day to end. I thought doing what everyone wanted would show me who I was, but eventually, you run out of milestones. And all that's left is just you, a pile of ash. But maybe that's the point. Because when everything falls apart, you gotta admit, that version of you that got you there in the first place went hard. They gave everything they had, and maybe that's something to be proud of. Because once you burn through who you thought you had to be, you get to ask who you want to be next. Damn, that's so good. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.